Everything explained in this video is summarized from the CoinMarketCap, and also please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for future XRP news and some other cryptocurrency news in general. Now take a look at this. SEC missed appeal deadline could end XRP lawsuit. Before we move further, there is a new crypto airdrop now taking place on Telegram, which is about to launch anytime soon. Please make sure you participate in this airdrop. The link is in the description of the video. Don't miss out on this. Now let's continue with our video. The CC may miss the deadline to challenge Ripple's decision. Those who are involved in the cryptocurrency ecosystem argue over the appropriate deadline for the SEC appeal. XRP experiences arise as the deadline for appealing closes. In the Ripple case, the time for a prospective appeal to the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, is rapidly approaching, which has sparked a discussion about the ramifications that could arise if the commission fails to meet the deadline. Today, October 17, a well-known analyst has predicted that the Securities and Exchange Commission will file an appeal. According to the commentator, this would come as a surprise to many members of the cryptocurrency industry who do not anticipate the agency to file an appeal. While many members of the cryptocurrency world are under the impression that the deadline for Form C was October 16, he claims that the SEC is pushing for October 17 as the deadline. In the meantime, cryptocurrency attorney Jeremy Hogan agrees that the deadline for filing Form C with the SEC has almost approached its expiration date, which lends credibility to the October 16 deadline. The civil appeal pre-argument statement, which is required to be submitted, was seen in a screenshot that Hogan posted. Coin Edition was the first publication to publish the article titled Ripple SEC Missed Appeal Deadline Could End XRP Lawsuit. Ashley Prosper, a prominent member of the XRP community, has shed light on the subject of the uncertainty surrounding the appeal deadline for Ripple versus XSEC. The XRP community is actively debating the uncertainties around the topic. 3 crucial documents are causing different interpretations of when the State Securities and Exchange Commission's Form C submission is due, leaving many people uncertain about the actual timing. When the SEC first established the issue of appeal or no appeal, it now seems fishy that they missed the deadline, and the scenario is becoming increasingly intense. Let's get a grasp on the most important documents so that we can understand the actual situation. Notice of appearance and acknowledgement of receiving document 1, the shape. This document, which is due by October 18th, is primarily intended to serve as confirmation of involvement in the case. Nevertheless, it is not directly tied to the deadline for Form C. The docket entries in the Second Circuit are presented in document 2. Using the docket dates of the Second Circuit as the sole source of information can be deceiving, according to Prosper, because there is a possibility that technical delays will result in incorrect extensions of the schedule. This may cause uncertainty over the actual deadline. District Court docket, which is the most important document, is document 3. As far as Prosper is concerned, this particular document is the most significant. There is evidence that the notice of appeal was sent on October 2nd, which means that the deadline for the Securities and Exchange Commission to submit Form C was October 16th. The argument that Prosper makes is that the SEC did not meet the deadline because of this date. Did the Securities and Exchange Commission fail to meet the deadline for filing? As a result of Prosper's study, she reaffirmed that the 14-day countdown started on October 2 and that the deadline is set for October 16th. The apparent failure of the Securities and Exchange Commission C to achieve this deadline has caused alarm within the community. Even though some people think that missing the deadline does not always end in the dismissal of the case, they are aware that it might nevertheless lead to repercussions such as warnings or fines. Former SEC attorney Mark Fagel provided an alternative viewpoint, elaborating on the fact that the time frame of 14 days is not often strictly adhered to. It is up to the discretion of the courts to prolong it. And he informed the community that the State Securities and Exchange Commission is not abandoning the appeal simply because the deadline was missed. In its notice of appeal, which was submitted on October 2nd, the Securities and Exchange Commission contest a decision that imposes fines totaling $125 million. On October 4th, the matter was added to the docket of the Second Circuit, which indicates that the Securities and Exchange Commission may still have time to file the necessary forms. According to Prosper, the Securities and Exchange Commission ought to have submitted a request for an extension if they required additional time. The missed deadline may constitute a substantial procedural error for the Securities and Exchange Commission's kick if there is no justifiable technical issue. Eleanor Tourette, a journalist for Fox Business, revealed on X that Ripple's general counsel and other legal experts first believed that the deadline set by the SEC was October 16th. Attorney Jeremy Hogan and Tarrant later explained that the true deadline is October 18th. Tarrant was also provided with this information because the appeal wasn't docketed until October 4. The 14-day clock normally begins from that date rather than the date that the claim was initially filed. The XRP community is left waiting to see what happens next because there are a variety of perspectives in the community and there are no definite answers. The situation is still unclear and the possible repercussions for Ripple, the SEC, and the cryptocurrency market as a whole are still being worked out. Fed Rispoli, an attorney who advocates for XRP, has provided an overview of what to anticipate from the Form C filing that will be submitted to the United States Securities and Exchange Commission state. It is anticipated that the form will offer information regarding the appeal strategies that the regulator intends to pursue in the ongoing case with Ripple Labs. Even though many members of the community are speculating about whether or not the SEC will file its pre-argument statement, Rispoli is confident that the SEC will appeal. What's new in the lawsuit between Ripple and the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, submitted its notice of appeal against Judge Torres's final ruling, which was entered on August 7, 2024, earlier this month. Following the court's judgment that Ripple Labs pay a civil penalty of $125 million for its institutional XRP sales, the Securities and Exchange Commission SEC filed an appeal. Ripple has taken retaliatory action by filing a cross appeal against the appropriate agency. The chief executive officer of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, stated that the company is working to ensure the SEC's demise and put an end to the SEC agenda of regulation by enforcement. As Stuart Alderodi, chief legal officer of Ripple, stated further that the company is contesting the SEC's argument that investment contracts violate the law. In addition, Alderodi pointed out that the appeal filed by the SEC does not have a solid legal footing. He was certain that Ripple would emerge victorious from the legal proceeding. As of the 17th of October, the SEC is still to submit Form CU. When that time comes, Ripple will have 7 days to submit its Form C, which will include further information regarding its cross appeal. After that, all parties will get together to shake hands and discuss a briefing timetable. Once the initial brief from the SEC is received, which is anticipated to take place within the next 90 days, Ripple will then deliver its brief to the agency. Fred Rispoli's opinion on the content of the United States Securities and Exchange Commission Form C in his comments regarding the ongoing case. The information that has been provided is not intended to be trading advice. There is no responsibility for any investments that are made based on the information that is provided on this page. Before making any decision about investments, we strongly advise conducting independent research and consulting with a knowledgeable professional.